Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today we're going to talk about something that I'm really not liking in terms of the direction of the audio production world. We're going to be discussing subscription models, why I don't like them in terms of both plugins and DAWs. I'm going to be taking this video to pretty much hate on subscription models in the audio production world. But before we dive in, if you are ready to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process in its entirety and really start honing your workflow as an engineer, then I have just the thing for you. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and it's just a simple PDF that will walk you through the entire mixing process step by step to help you get professional and radio-ready mixes without any more hassle and without any more of the guesswork. It is a completely free guide, and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Now let's jump in here to today's topic. Now, as I said, I am not a fan of the subscription model thing that's been popping up here in the audio world in terms of both plugins, gear, and DAWs. I don't like some of the software companies that are switching over to the subscription model and completely doing away with the buying outright price. I'm not a fan of that for a couple of reasons, but the main reason for me is I like to look at any person in any industry. Really, over time, you acquire more of two things, right? The more you do whatever you're doing, whether it be photography or music production or even just being a musician in general, the more you do what you're doing, you gain more knowledge and more skill of your area, and then usually over time you gather, more tools and more gear. I like to think of it that way, and the more you progress, you don't lose any of that stuff, right? It's not like the more you work, you lose knowledge, or the more you work, you lose the gear around you. It doesn't go away. It's stuff you acquire over time. To me, the subscription model is the enemy of that. You're not acquiring stuff because at any moment, if you don't pay the monthly fee, it's gone. Poof, all of it's gone. I don't like that. I feel like that's the enemy of progress in terms of any career, is losing something at the drop of a monthly fee. So we're going to look at a couple different things in terms of both plugins and DAWs. Let's start with DAWs here. So I use PreSonus Studio One. I used to use Pro Tools. Pro Tools recently switched over. Avid recently switched Pro Tools over to a subscription model. So if we go and look at PreSonus's website here are the options for buying Studio One. So you can buy it in the PreSonus Sphere monthly membership. So you can pay $14 or $15 a month, or $150, $170 a year, $165 a year, and you'll get Studio One Professional, as well as all the other stuff that comes with their monthly membership and their Sphere community. Excuse me, been talking too much today. So you get, cloud-based workspaces and master classes and live streams and live chats and audio batch converters and all this kind of stuff that comes with their monthly membership. It also comes with, it looks like, all of their other plugins, which is really cool. I didn't know that. It comes with Notion, some drum stuff, presence editors, scratch pads, and grand pianos. All this other stuff comes with their monthly membership at $15 a month or $165 a year. But you can still buy Studio One Professional, which is their highest tier for Studio One, at $400. You just get it outright. You pay the $400, you get it, and you still get everything that comes with just their software. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here from all the talking. So you just don't get the extra pieces of software that come with their monthly membership. So like Notion and the libraries that come with Notion, you don't get their batch converter, or the community access and the workspaces. But you get everything that comes with the DAW and more, because you get the new stuff they added in version 6. So they have lyric support, the scratch pad comes with it, there's harmonic editing, pattern editing, get 5 virtual instruments, there's a score editor now, you can edit video inside of Studio One, tons and tons of stuff comes with their Professional. Okay, let's move over to Pro Tools now. So if we switch over here is Avid's website, and we're looking at buying Pro Tools. Here are the 3 tiers to purchase Pro Tools. So the highest tier, which would be akin to, I guess, PreSonus Sphere, it's Pro Tools, it's just Pro Tools Ultimate, but I mean, that would be akin to buying Studio One Professional, right? But it's a monthly payment or a yearly payment. The monthly payment is $100 a month. That is insane. $99 per month or $600 per year. Let's see what it comes with here. So you get all the normal stuff that comes with Pro Tools. It comes with Melodyne support. Oh, that's it. I was expecting more scrolling there. I guess that's it. You can get special pricing for teachers and students, but I mean their lowest tier is $9 a month or $99 a year. If you wanted all this stuff for a DAW, you could go to PreSonus and you could buy their artist version for just $99. So instead of paying that every year to have access to your DAW, you could buy Studio One Artist for $99 and just have it. That's it. It's done. Your $100 payment is done. You could go produce tracks for other people, make that money back, and then it's over. Here, this you can tell this makes me angry that you're just every year you have to pay $99, and if you miss it, suddenly your DAW is gone. Like you just no longer can make music because the tool that you use to make music is gone because you can't afford it anymore. And especially at this tier, the Pro Tools Ultimate tier. Oh, I accidentally clicked on it. That's not what I wanted. We're gonna make sure we go back here. I don't want to go into their actual shop. Just looking at their 3 tiers, their highest tier for their software, which is pretty much on par with Studio One Professional. You could pay $400 for Studio One Professional one time. That's it. You hand over your $400 and you have access to the software forever. If you want to pay for the upgrades, you can pay for the upgrades when they come out with a new version of Studio One 7, but all Studio One 6.1, 6.2, all of that is free. You get all those upgrades because you bought the software. Here, you would pay more than Studio One Professional every year, or you would pay $100 per month. That to me is insane. So anybody who wants to get into this field, if they wanted to buy Pro Tools, because Pro Tools was the industry standard, right? It was the big thing that was in all of the big studios. Suddenly it's way out of reach. It used to be, it was one of the more expensive DAWs because it was like $600 to get the software, but that was like the flat fee. Suddenly it's $100 a month or $600 a year. So you have to be making at least that from the DAW to get an ROI, to get a return on your interest, right? Or a return on your investment. I feel like that puts such a barrier between people getting into the audio field and the DAWs that they want to use. To have to pay $100 a month to get access to your DAW. That's insane. I think that's crazy. So that's DAWs, looking at DAWs. I don't know of any other DAWs that are doing this, something this crazy. And I don't know if the other DAWs have opened up to a subscription model. I like that PreSonus does both. You can pay for their subscription model, but even their subscription model comes with community access, cloud-based gigabyte storage, live chats, and monthly master classes or monthly live streams. That makes a monthly payment worth it. But their monthly payment is $15 a month. That is in stark comparison to $100 a month. I don't know if Logic has switched to anything. I don't know if they offer a subscription model, but even Logic, if you bought Logic, it would be so much cheaper than $600 a year. I don't know if they've switched to a subscription model, and if they have, hopefully it's not. That's it. I like that Studio One is doing, or PreSonus is doing both. You can still buy the software if you just want the software, just outright. You can buy the software, or if you want to pay for this, you can pay for their subscription model as well. Both options are available. Here, it's not. It's on Avid's website is just the subscription models. I'm not sure if you can still buy just the Pro Tools software right off. You used to be able to buy it on Sweetwater as well. I'm not sure if you can buy just the software on Sweetwater or if Sweetwater is offering the subscription model now for Pro Tools as well, which would be a shame if there's no other way to get Pro Tools besides $100 a month. That's pretty crazy to me. Switching over to the plugin realm here, we're going to look at Waves and Slate Digital. So Slate Digital jumped on the subscription model bandwagon a while back. It's not too crazy. It's $10 a month and you get access to everything they have. So every new plugin that comes out, all their sample packs, it's $7,000 worth of award-winning plugins and mixing tools, all of that stuff. $10 a month. That's not a bad deal. That seems like a good deal, right? But you could compare that to just going to Waves. You buy the plugin once and it's yours forever. You get the updates. You don't have to pay for the updates or anything that come with the plugins. Like if you wanted a great EQ, you could just buy their F6 EQ is a great EQ. I would put it on par with what's the Fab Filter EQ, the Pro Q. I would put it on par with the Pro Q for $35. It's on sale, or they're always running sales on all their plugins. That's just standard Waves operating terms. Always running a deal on their plugins. You could get the SSL compressor. One of the compressors that Slate makes is the SSL style bus compressor. You could get it for $40, and you'd have it forever. That's less than you'd pay for a year of this, right? $10 a month is $120 per year. You could get tons of plugins from Waves for $120 and you'd be set. They'd be yours forever. You could get this F6, you could get the SSL bus compressor, you could grab the SSL E channel if you needed a channel strip, if you wanted something on par with like, the virtual mix rack. You could get the CLA 76 compressors. That gives you 2 compressors for $30. That's just all the Renaissance stuff. The REQ, the RVox, the RComp. You could get that collection. I don't know how much that collection is altogether. We could look at bundles and see what they have. I think there's a bundle for just, Renaissance Max, $77. And that's 3 plugins? Never mind. Wow. So the Renaissance Max bundle for $77 right now, you get their IR convolution reverb, so you can load reverb IRs. Renaissance Axe, which is one of their compressors, works splendidly on guitars, basses, stuff like that. Renaissance Bass, so adding more low end. Renaissance Channel, so then an EQ and a compressor. Renaissance Compressor, Renaissance De-esser, Renaissance Equalizer, so that's their REQ. Renaissance Reverb, and RVox as well for vocals, as well as Waves Tune. That's a ton of plugins for just $77. And that's it. You pay $77. You have all of those plugins forever. They never disappear if you can't afford a monthly payment. That is my biggest gripe with the subscription models. Slate Digital isn't as bad as like the Avid, I don't think, because I think you can still buy their plugins one-off on Sweetwater and stuff. I think you can still just go buy the virtual mix rack on Sweetwater and not have to pay a subscription model. So if you don't want to, you can still get their plugins one by one if you wanted to that way. So just pay for the plugin and you have it forever. I like that they're doing both. So you can do $10 a month if you want everything, or you can just buy the little pieces of software, the little plugins as you want them. It's still in stark contrast to the price point that Waves is selling their plugins at. But the Pro Tools thing that really irked me when I found out that they were switching to just a subscription model. That's crazy to me, and that it's not even. I wouldn't put this here, Pro Tools Ultimate. I would not put that in the same level, the same field as Studio One Professional. I switched from Pro Tools to Studio One a while back. I wasn't using the latest version of Pro Tools because it's been quite a few years since I switched over. But even back then, I switched over to Studio One 2. Studio One 2 wasn't the greatest DAW out there. Studio One 6, the newest one, is phenomenal. I still have Studio One 5, which is miles past Pro Tools, I think. Just the stuff they're doing is incredible. All the people at PreSonus are wonderful. Their on-call staff for, chatting, or if you have issues, you can always email and reach out or chat with them. They're a great team there. They're always innovating. They listen to their people. Pro Tools is just, oof, that's all I can say there. I know I'm shitting on Pro Tools and hating on Pro Tools, but I want to be honest with you guys, the subscription model thing is just really irked me, and I wanted to make a video about it just to talk about it. So if the subscription model thing is irking you too, and you don't want to pay the monthly fee or the yearly fees for something like Pro Tools, or even if you want a bunch of plugins and you don't want to pay the $10 a month for Slate Digital, because that's still $120 a month. That's still a lot, or $120 a year. That's still a lot to fork over. And if you miss that, suddenly you lose access to all your plugins. And then if you have all those plugins across your mixes, suddenly you can't listen to your mixes the same anymore, right? Because all those plugins get deactivated. I don't like the idea of losing stuff. Like I said, For me, especially in the audio industry as an audio engineer, the more you work, I feel like you should be gaining, skills and knowledge, and you should be acquiring, tools and gear around you too that you use to make the music that you're making and to make the songs that you're making. Um, Analog gear is the same way, right? You acquire the analog gear over time. You have the little tools that you use that put your mark on your music, on your tracks. And the idea of suddenly losing that because of a monthly payment, that scares me. I don't like that. And I don't like what it takes away from creators and from audio production professionals. I hope that was interesting for you to hear me rant about subscription models, but at least to see the different options that are out there in terms of PreSonus, Avid, Waves, Slate Digital. They're just some of the few that are offering one or the other or both in terms of Slate Digital and PreSonus. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're ready to take your mixes to the next level and really start dialing in your workflow as an engineer, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and you can download it below to start creating more professional mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.